Jai Gurudev. Om Param Tattvai Narayanaaya Gurubhyo Namaha. I hope everyone is getting to learn some interesting facts about Kal Bhairav Sadhana, and everyone who is watching this is getting serious about Kal Bhairav Sadhana. It's one thing listening to lectures, but it's completely a different thing trying to implement and trying to start practicing the sadhanas that some of you who have been learning through this channel. So today we will start to talk about Kal Bhairav, the actual sadhana part. So far we have been talking about the Swarup of Kal Bhairav, how he looks like, what he really means, what is the Mool Tattva of Kal Bhairav, how was his appearance. He is the form of Shiva, like I have already explained. He is an avatar of Shiva. He, although may appear very fierce, very scary, but his true essence, his true Mula Tattva is Kalyan Rupa, which means he's here. He is Shiv. Shiv means Kalyan. So he is here for the welfare of his bhaktas. He's here for the welfare of all living beings who are on the path of dharma, who are on the path of sadhana, who want to know him. So Kal Bhairav, again, very, very easily pleased, doesn't require a lot of, it depends on what your goal is. Sometimes we do anushtans for certain manokamna siddhis and for certain lakshyas and goals that we have. But for general public, it's this Kal Bhairav sadhana is open to everyone. One can easily do this on a daily basis at home. Very simple things that easily pleases Lord Shiva or Lord Kal Bhairav. I explained Ashta form of Kal Bhairavs in the previous lecture. There is 64 forms of Kal Bhairav, which are also associated with their own consorts or yoginis or 64 Bhairavis, like we say it. So again, Bhairav has several forms. The most famous forms are the Kashi Kal Bhairav, who is there as the Kotwal or a police or a lord of justice. And he is there to give the good and the bad, depending on your own karmas and your own action. He's watching and he's delivering results based on our own actions. Again, I've already explained a lot of it in the previous lecture, so I'm not going to go into those. And the most easily pleased form of Bhairav is Batuk Bhairav. And I also explained that Batuk is the Bal Swarup, the child form of Bhairav, similar to we have Hanumanji, who was once a child, who did wonders when he was a child. We have Krishna Bal Swarup, where we have a Laddu Gopal. I think a lot of Indian homes have a small Laddu Gopal form of Krishna in their homes. Equally powerful, equally, pleasing as much as the Virat Swarup of Narayan. And we have Bal Ganpati Swarup in South. Kumaraswamy, Skanda is also worshipped very much, who is also a child of Shiva, both in a very pleasing form as well as in Ugra form when he has to fight the warriors, when he has to fight the enemies and the Asura. So in his warrior Swarup as well. So similarly, Bhairav has Kal Bhairav, who is really the deity of Kal, who is the lord of death, the lord of time. Also very pleasing. But also we have Batuk Bhairav, who is the child form of Bhairav, very cute, very little, and easily ready to please his devotees. And several other forms. We have Ashta Bhairav, Chausat Bhairav, Bavan Bhairav, so many forms. So there is also Swarnakarshan Bhairav. I touched briefly in my previous lecture, the Bhairav who is the lord of wealth and also giver of several boons, giver of enormous amount of prosperity and wealth and gold. Swarna means gold. Gold again is associated with wealth. doesn't technically mean gold, like you'll shower gold. Of course, he will, but really the giver of a lot of wealth that one could only imagine. So all these are several forms. One form is Ananda Bhairav, where Ananda means bliss, Ananda means joy. The Bhairav, who is always in Ananda form himself. Shiva is always in Ananda form. Shiva is always in a samadhi. Shiva is always in a blissful form. Shiva can be surrounded with serpents. Shiva can be surrounded with snakes. Shiva can be surrounded. His entire gana is composed of bhoot and pret and spirits and ghost and all of it, right? All kinds of creatures are a part of his gun. Yet Shiva sits there alone, meditating in his own swarupa, in his own blissful form. And that is how my Guruji used to always teach us, right? Like our life is like, should be like Shiva, where we are surrounded with snakes and we are surrounded with enemies and we are surrounded with challenging situations day to day. Every single day is a challenge in itself. Every day we wake up to a different set of challenges. We could be surrounded by ghosts and spirits, not in the true sense, but of course people who are here to harm us, people or circumstances, right? Not always people, but circumstances who are here to scare us, who are here to circumstances which are invoking some kind of fear in us, circumstances which are invoking some kind of disturbance in our lives. So we could be surrounded with literally, we feel like sometimes we are sitting in a smashan, in a crematorium where everything is just burning around us and we are just surrounded by so much around us. Yet we should learn to be like Shiva, and that is where really Kal Bhairav sadhana helps, where he's the one who takes away all these surrounding negativities from our lives and give us that peace and blissful, so we can be in samadhi and we can achieve that ultimate realization that we are all born for. Again, manav janma is very durlabh, like they say it's very precious. It's to have this human body. Even devatas, they aspire to have a human body. So the body that we have, the sense organs that we have, the indriyas that we have is only possible in a human form. And it's up to us how we use this body, how we use this human form. We can continue to acquire more and more and more and leave it all here and come back to the very same repeat and rinse kind of life, or we can definitely use this instrument that we have, our mind, our sense organs, our everything, our body, everything that we have, to continue to progress towards the higher goals of life and to really attain that ultimate truth and the ultimate reality and the ultimate bliss that we are all seeking for. Everything else is temporary. Everything else is just passing, and nothing will remain forever, and everything will have to be given up here once we leave the body. So more on that, we'll talk more. But for now, back to Bhairav Sadhana. I know I know a lot of people are very curious for me to just get on the real climax of the movie, where you just want to know what is that one mantra or what is that one thing that I need to do to please Kal Bhairav and get all the boons that I desire and get all the siddhis that I desire and get everything, get all the riches, and also make sure all my enemies are destroyed and all the negative circumstances are destroyed. While, of course, all that is possible, I do want to make sure that we understand that for any sadhana, whether it's Vedic sadhana, whether it's Tantra sadhana, whether it's Kal Bhairav Shakti sadhana, the most important fundamental principle in sadhana is to have complete faith and the feeling and the devotion and the surrender to your Guruji, to your Guru. That, I think, is the most key principle. And if one doesn't have it, and if you don't have it, all your sadhanas it's not going to really yield much results. Having that faith in your Guru, where we know that Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheshwara. Guru is Maheshwar. Guru is Shiva. Guru is the real Shiva. Guru is the Brahma. He is the creator of us. He gives us a new life. He gives us a completely new birth. Once we go on the sadhana marg, it's through a Guru that we learn everything that we want to learn. He sustains us. He nurtures us. He continues to make sure that we continue to progress on this path. He continues to give us that knowledge that is required to, keep progressing on this path. And of course, he destroys. He's Maheshwar. He's Shiva. He destroys all the ego and the ahamkar and all the negativities that we have so far cultivated within ourselves. So that is Guru. So one must, I mean, he is really, the real essence of Sadhana Marg is to have full faith and full devotion in your Guru. Unfortunately, while many could have a guru, and nowadays it's a fad. Everyone wants a guru, and now it's become really a fad, unfortunately, where guru is easily available also via social media and via everybody, like is now looking for a guru, and gurus are also looking for a chela and a shishya. Now it's become so easily available, and not many people are taking the time to reflect and analyze what they want and who the true guru is. But more on that, I think we'll definitely discuss more on how to make sure that you are with the right guru. There's definitely several steps, but for now, if you are with a guru, make sure you already have unflinching faith and devotion with your guru, unflinching surrenderance, like you are completely surrendered to your guru, while also making sure you're doing your own efforts. There is no shortcut where, yes, I'm only going to believe in my guru and I'm not going to do any sadhana, right? You can certainly take a horse to the water, but you cannot make it drink. So everything is possible if you have the faith in Guru, but it takes a lifetime sometimes to have that kind of faith in your own Ishta or in your own Guru. People can be with a Guru, yet they keep sometimes calculating, sometimes analyzing, and sometimes they never develop that true faith. They see Guru as somebody who is like a giver of something, right? Like a very transactional relationships where I go to a guru, I do this sadhana, and the guru will give me this in return. And if I don't get this done through a guru, then I will go find another guru. So the way we have, let's say we have some ailment or we have some health issues, and the way we go to a doctor and we completely surrender to a doctor. We don't know what's going on with our body, but we trust some external person here who we don't know. And only this external person can see our x-rays. He can really scan everything that we have, not just externally, but also internally, and really go to the root cause of that problem that we are having, not just looking at your face and everything. Of course, they can figure out everything just by looking physical, external appearance as well. But sometimes if the wound or if the disease is much deeper, they will definitely go to the root of your soul, via an x-ray, to really identify what the root cause is. And accordingly, a good doctor will give you the right prescription. In this case, we completely rely on a doctor to treat us. We really completely give up and we completely surrender to a doctor. And whatever he's giving, how do I trust that doctor that the medicine he's giving is going to work for me or it's not going to create any side effects for me? We don't really question. Well, if you question, you're going to get kicked out anyway. So you rather not question, right? You keep your mouth shut in front of a doctor, because here it's a matter of your life and death. So similarly, when we don't question a doctor, the other day I was thinking where, when we go to Kashi, we cross Ganga River from one end to the other, right? And we really rely on some guy who is taking me from, one end of the Ganga to other end of the Ganga, and I don't know anything, right? I don't know the surrounding. I don't know this person, yet I completely have faith in him. I trust him. I trust that he will take me to that location, to that destination. And I trust him fully, right? That 20 minutes of that, the journey from one end of the river to the other end of the river is crucial. A lot can happen in that 20 minutes. But we do rely and we do completely surrender for those 20 minutes and let that person deliver us from wherever he wants to take us to wherever we want to go to. So while we don't question a lot of those day-to-day circumstances and we kind of go with whatever the other person is telling us to do, in Sadhana Marg, we definitely use all our organs that we have and all our calculations and all our analysis and paralysis that happens along with all the analysis that we continue to suspect our guru, we continue to have doubts in our guru, we continue to see him as a normal human being, We continue to raise questions. We continue to raise questions on the knowledge that he is giving. And so much so that we continue to see him more as a somebody like, who is like a magician who can really show some magic and give you the results that you want. And if that doesn't happen, then we kind of quickly move on to the next big guru. And nowadays, it's like I said, it's a fad. And the more guru with more followers, and sometimes we don't understand what we are getting into, and we just go with the crowd, like literally a bunch of goats all clamor together, and then the other goat is just like, this is how my Guruji used to explain. बकरी और शेर में बहुत फर्क होता है, there's a lot of difference between goat and a lion normally walks alone. He prefers to be alone. He doesn't need a lot of people around him, whereas when you see the sheep and the lambs and the goats, they usually have a mass following, and a lot of people kind of go in that category because nobody knows what they're seeking for. Nobody knows who this guru is. They just see the crowd and they just go with it, and then they stay with that crowd for a few years. They see that nothing is happening here. Now let me go find another gang or another crowd or another herd of sheep and goats. But and then again, like a rolling stone, they gather no moss. They continue to shift from one crowd to other crowd, from one guru to other guru, from one isht to other isht, and the whole life just goes away because time is not going to wait for anyone, right? So in this case, I think having that faith, having that complete unflinching devotion in your guru, knowing that whatever he is given is like set in stone, and I will implement it, I will practice it, I will do it myself, right? While guru is here to bless, but I will make that effort to completely transform my life, to really sit down and ask for that blessing, and really that kind of sadhana and that kind of faith and that kind of tapasya where God himself will appear in front of you, or a guru himself will appear in front of you and give you more, way more than what you have asked for. Like we saw in our Bhakta Prahlad, right? A little boy who did miracles in his life, like such a little boy, but his faith and his constant namajap, or his constant repetition, or his constant that unflinching devotion he had in Vishnu Bhagwan. I mean, no matter what the circumstances was, what his father did to him right from the day he was born, but Prahlad never gave up his devotion, and he was always connected to his guru and his ishta, and you saw the miracle, right? Like from the pillars appeared the ferocious form of Vishnu, the Lord Narsingh. While Vishnu is looks very beautiful and very loving, Narsingh in his fears, similar to Kal Bhairav, in his fearful avatar, took that avatar to protect his devotee. Same as Kal Bhairav, right? I mean, he is that fear, that form of Ugra form of Kal Bhairav is to protect us. But one needs to have that kind of faith and devotion. And like my Guruji said, like faith can move mountains. And we clearly see this in Prahlad's Charitra, where his faith, his devotion did definitely moved pillars in this case for sure. So Narsingh appears and blesses Prahlad, and everything else you guys already know. So having that faith, making sure that we are constantly attuned to our guru, our consciousness is tuned with his consciousness, and we are on the right path of dharma, and always asking for his blessings and not really questioning much, especially after one has been connected with a guru, or with his lineage at least, or with his parampara. So for Bhairav Sadhana, the few things very important again, I think, is making sure that let's understand what upasana is first of all. Upasana. Up means near, up means proximity, and asan means, asan that we use for puja, like sitting, like asan means to sit or to be located. So Bhairav Upasana means to sit near Bhairav, or to sit near Shiva if one doesn't have access to Bhairav. In certain countries, we don't have Bhairav temple. So either in your own home, you have a photo, or you have a Shivling, or you have a Bhairav temple, or you have a Shiva temple. But doing your sadhana or doing your upasana in proximity or in sitting close to your Isht Bhairav Devata. Now, Upasanas are of different ways. The most important thing, again, when we get into sadhanas is the sankalp that we take. The sankalp can be nishkam, where you don't really have any wishes, right? Like higher realized souls, like our gurus and all, really didn't have their own personal wishes. What would be their wish maximum? Like, hey, Bhairav ji, make sure that this devotee is blessed. He's free of whatever problem he's suffering. The entire universe is blessed. The entire universe, like they pray for the bigger mankind, right? Not for their own little things. It's very little things that we ask for. Or sakam. Sakam means you're asking for a specific boon or a specific wish. And again, nothing wrong with it, right? As children, we will ask our parents, right? No matter how old we are, we'll continue to ask our parents always. So as children, it is our, we feel it is our right to ask our parents, right? Well, whether the parents agree or disagree with it, that's their choice, but it's my choice and it is my right, as a child to definitely ask my parents for anything that I wish for. But similarly, there's nothing wrong with it, nothing wrong in taking sankalp and asking for your own personal boons, provided that they are right and they are dharmic, they are sattvic. So the sankalp that we take, usually sankalp means like a wish that we take, like here is why I'm doing this Bhairav sadhana. Make sure that it's sattvic, make sure it is pure and it is for your own good. It is also for others' good, right? It is not for any kind of destroying somebody's or disturbing somebody, or let's say you have an enemy and you take a sankalp that in a sattvic way that makes Lord Bhairav, may this enmity between us be removed, or may this person who's giving me trouble stay away from me, right? Versus a more tamasic kind of a sankalp would be, or a tamasic kind of paddhati would be, can be an extreme, right? Where they just wish for, sometimes in a lot of cases, the death of that person as well, right? So we don't want to be in that path. This is not how our Guruji taught us. We are more on the sattvic form where it's pure consciousness, pure sankalp, also offering the right items to call Bhairav. Bhairav sadhana can be done in sattvic, tamasic, and rajasic form. Um, Tamasic is all the things you may see, like people offer alcohol, meat, fish, sometimes bali, like dead bodies are offered. Slaughter is very common in certain areas of in India where bali pratha is still prevalent, right? Where animals are being sacrificed to appease a god. But that is not what should happen, but it happens, and there is a certain paddhati and certain aghor panth. They follow it for their own good, but not the way we were taught, and certainly not something that I recommend or my Guruji has recommended. So sankalp is very important. Make sure you have the right sankalp. Make sure you have a pure wish and a sattvic form of sankalp, and not something to harm anybody. Like I've said, that karmas are always balanced. What you wish for, even mentally, if you harm somebody, if mentally also you wish something negative or ill for somebody, there is no, you will definitely have to face the consequences. So making sure sankalp is good. One thing I also wanted to clarify, there was one question on Shiv and Kal Bhairav. So one shloka I was reading, I do want to mention here, and let me see if I can chant this. The shloka goes as Vishveshwarasya ye bhaktana bhaktaha Kal Bhairave te labhante mahadukha kashyam chaiva visheshatah. It says basically the one who is a bhakt of Shiva, the one who believes in Shiva, the one who does bhakti of Shiva, if he does not believe or if he does not do bhakti of Kal Bhairav, that person is not truly worshipping Shiva, and that person will get a lot of dukkha or sorrows in his life. And usually we see this in Kashi, where going to Kal Bhairav and taking his darshan is imperative to Kashi Yatra. if you only go to Kashi Vishwanath, if you only go to Ma Annapurna, if you only go to Sankat Mochan, that whole thing is still incomplete if one has not taken the darshan of Kal Bhairav. In fact, first and foremost should be Kal Bhairav because he's the main security, he's the main protector of Kashi, he's the main police of Kashi. So once you go to him, take his darshan, and he certifies, yes, you're good to go. Now go through you've cleared the security. Now you're ready to fly. So and that's when ideally one should first go to Kal Bhairav, take his darshan, take his blessings, and then kind of move on to the next all the other deities that we have in Kashi. So very important to know that if you are a follower of Shiva, if you are doing Shiva and you do not offer same respect, and I'm not saying that you do the same set of pujas for Bhairav as well, but at least have some kind of faith and some kind of respect for Kal Bhairav as well. Now, on Bali, I also wanted to quickly touch upon, I did mention that as a part of Bhairav Sadhana, we also offer Bali in Sattvic way, but not in the way that people have made it out to be tamasic, where animals are being sacrificed and lot of things are happening in the name of Bali. So what is animal? First of all, these are not these external animals. Like they are also the same children of the same God or the same mother or the same divine mother that we have. Everyone ultimately has come from the same cosmic womb or the mother, right? Or from Shakti. Everyone is the same ansh of divine as you and I are. Whether it's the plants, whether it's the animals, whether it's anything, this whole prakriti is divine itself, right? So how do we really have the right to kill somebody and offer it to his own mother? Would you do that? Like if somebody's children are there, would you kill one person and offer it to the mother and ask mother that, I hope you're happy because I killed one of your children, but I'm alive and I'm asking for so and so bones. Or for a mother, all their children are equal. But in this case, we do see there are practices and definitely should be stopped, and definitely there should be voice raised against such kind of practices. But it happens. But whatever little things we can do to make sure we are not at least following the same path or offering alcohol. I mean, who comes up with this notion that Shiva is always drinking and Kal Bhairav is drinking, and it is to their own gain and it is to their own selfish motivations and motives that people come up with all this. And while, yes, there is certain sects that do these kind of practices, they're very strict rituals. And definitely, I think that it's not for everyone. And it's certainly not for a lot of grihast people like us. Animals are, we ourselves are pashus. We ourselves have all the animal instincts. You can imagine, right? I mean, a human being may look very good, but he could possibly have the worst animal instincts within them. And when the time and circumstances come, sometimes you do also question that, oh my God, I used to think that this person is so nice, but, I saw that this person was like this. So again, I think certain type of situations can bring the worst out of each person, no matter how good one is or how good one pretends to be. Circumstances, situations, relationships, time, a lot of these things can influence our own character, our own behavior, our own interactions with the world, our own interactions with people outside, and can bring either the best or the worst out of us. We have these, we say shadvikar, like kam, krodh, mad, moha, lobh, matsar. A lot of these instincts that is already sitting within us, whether it's anger, whether it's lust, whether it's greed, whether it's attachment, all of these are animal instincts, and we are always in this kind of instincts, right? Some days we are very angry, some days we feel the greed for something, and because of these instincts that we have, we are driven to do a lot of karmas because we are greedy to acquire something, we are angry because we did not acquire something, and so and so. So really the pashu, the animal that we have, and the bali that we should be offering is the destruction or is the sacrifice of these animal instincts that we have, and not some mute, some dumb animal who is really, mostly they're givers. Like look at animals that they sacrifice, like goats and sheeps and buffaloes and whatnot. I mean, they give us so much, right? They play such an important role in our lives. Growing up, a lot of children in villages in India used to drink goat's milk, and even now goat's milk, even in US, it is very common. A lot of good products that I have used in the past is made with organic goat milk. So it really makes me sad when I hear such kind of practices being done. But again, to each its own. But let's make sure we don't fall into it, and we understand what animal instinct is. So while we do a sadhana, we sacrifice our own animal instinct, we sacrifice our own krodh, lobh, everything that we have, that is really blocking us from achieving the highest realms or highest spiritual realization. We sacrifice those to Kal Bhairava, and he will accept it and he will help us. So all of this again is important. So making sure that we are following the Sattvic Paddhati and the Sattvic Marg for sadhana. Now, things that are very important to now, really the main part that everyone is looking for, but I do want to, before I jump into it, I wanted you guys to understand that, make sure you understand what Guru is. Again, I'll talk more on Guru in other lectures. This is not the time, but let's get on to Bhairav. His likes, his dislikes. He's Shiva himself. So as you can imagine, most of the items that is offered to Shiva is acceptable by Kal Bhairav himself, such as if you look at flowers, offer him bilva patra. Bilva leaves is very, very preferred by, of course, Shiva is it's his most preferred bilva leaves, as well as Kal Bhairav. And usually if you're doing sadhanas, so you will do offer red flowers, red, any kind of red clothes, red kind of fruits, such as a pomegranate. And if you're doing bali, like I said, external bali, we usually cut a lemon and offer it as a bali. That's just a very simple bali form, like cut a lemon and you can offer it to Kal Bhairav. Nothing else. No animal or none of that. Please do not get into it. And yes, so red color flowers, red color puja items, and red color clothes, like a vastra that you want to offer to Kal Bhairav. Kal Bhairav sadhana in a very simple way, if you want to do without getting into big anushtans and big mantra jap and big havan and all this. A lot of people are very new, they may not know. And again, mantra jap is, although open to everyone, there is certain criteria and certain fundamentals that needs to be built before you can go to that mantra anushtan of taking savalak anushtan and all, right? There are, of course, simple mantras. There are longer mantras and much more complicated practices that we do. Now, basic, anybody who is a beginner and anybody who doesn't want to do mantra sadhanas, Bhairav sadhana is still open to everyone, whether you're a married person, you're a man, women, female, everything, it's all open. So mantra sadhana, so Bhairav sadhana, you could chant Kal Bhairav Ashtakam. Make sure you understand what Kal Bhairav Ashtakam is. It was composed by Adi Shankaracharya. I have videos. Please make sure you watch it, understand it, so you feel happy and you feel not so fearful of Kal Bhairav, right? So understand it. And so do Kal Bhairav Ashtakam on Tuesdays, especially when you do Hanuman Chalisas. Tuesday is also the day of Kal Bhairav. So you do Kal Bhairav Ashtakam along with Hanuman Chalisa. Either way is fine. You do first Hanuman Chalisa and then Kal Bhairav Ashtakam or vice versa. It doesn't matter. But the days allocated to Kal Bhairav is Tuesdays, then Saturdays, and also Sundays can be done. And every deity has their own preferred day, but that doesn't mean that you cannot do Kal Bhairav Ashtakam on a Monday. Or Monday is also Shiva's day, so great. And you can also do on a Wednesday or a Thursday. It can be done on any day. But of course, the preferred days is, like for us, a lot of us preferred days is Friday because we feel it's Friday and it's a weekend. But for Kal Bhairav, it's Tuesdays and Saturdays. So Tuesdays, you do Hanuman Puja, Hanuman Jap, whatever you're doing. You also do one round of Kal Bhairav Ashtakam. There is Bhairav Kavach. Again, a lot of articles. There's a lot of internet is filled with all this. You can easily find. And Bhairav Stuti is available. And of course, the most simple chanting you can do is the Ashtottar, which is 108 names of Bhairav. I will try and post a video on it if I can, just the main 108 names, so you guys can watch it and listen to it. But reciting those 108 names of Bhairav is considered to be very, very powerful. It removes all the negativities from your life, all the fear, all the obstacles. It gives you immense, immense blessings. It helps you with your manokamna siddhi, everything that you wish for. Chanting that 108 names of Kal Bhairav will give you everything. So you can always chant those names. You don't really require a lot of rituals or anything to be done. Just make sure Kal Bhairav photo is there, or your Shiva is there, or Shivling is there. Basic flowers are offered. Red color, I said, red color puja items, fruits such as red color items like a pomegranate, apples, and usually we keep nariyal like a coconut as well. And the asan that we use, the mat that we use is usually red color. Black color is also used, but we always go with red. It can be a kushasan, or it can be a regular asan that you use. It can be like a woolen, like a blanket kind of a small asan that we get in India that can also be used. And asans are also varying types. There is a deer skin, there is tiger skin. Again, not for us. Those are meant for people like gurus and rishis and all that. There is a logic behind those things. But for us, I think whatever asan you have at home, it's red, yellow is also fine. It's all good. So we can use those. Deep dan is very important for Kal Bhairav. Kal Bhairav loves diyas. So when you make sure you are offering deep, you're offering light, you're offering diyas to Kal Bhairav, and the diyas should be filled with either ghee if you have. If you do not have fresh ghee, you can use sesame oil or til ka tel, we say in Hindi. So sesame oil or mustard oil, jo sarso, we say sarso. So mustard oil or sesame oil can be used for both Hanuman sadhna as well as Kal Bhairav sadhna. So the Tuesdays, I think, is a great day because you're also doing Hanuman sadhna where you can use that mustard oil. And Tuesday is also the great day because Bhairav sadhna also is mustard oil or sesame oil can be used. Saturday is also the day for Kal Bhairav, and same because Saturday is also the day when we offer oil to Shani. And in fact, whoever does Kal Bhairav sadhana will never have the ill effects of Shani Dev. Again, to reduce your Navgraha doshas and to reduce your planetary afflictions that you may have in your horoscope, especially for Saturn and Sadesati and Saturn, to get his blessings, it is important to do Shiva sadhana, Rudra Abhishek, where we offer water to the Shivling. And it is very, very helpful to also do Kal Bhairav sadhana because Kal Bhairav can definitely remove all your Graha doshas, and all your Shani related afflictions can easily be wiped out just by doing Bhairav sadhana. Saturday is the day for Shani. Saturday is also the day for Hanuman. Saturday is also the day for Kal Bhairav. So again, use that sesame oil diya or mustard oil diya. The other one was, what do we offer for prasad? Kal Bhairav. I will try and post one, maybe a video to get more details about. But for now, it's very simple. He loves black lentil urad. We call it kale urad, black lentil dal. If you can make a vada out of it in fried kind of vada, he loves those. So offer black urad dal, black til, which is again black sesame, is preferred by, it's Shiva's favorite also, and it is Kal Bhairav favorite also. So both black urad dal, which is black lentils, and black sesame is also offered and loved by Kal Bhairav. He loves sweets. He loves malpua. It's like a fried wheat kind of sweet dish we used to make in India. Jalebis, if you have, Kashi is famous. It's the land of jalebis. So it's amazing. If you are in Kashi already, get some fresh, homemade, hopefully, jalebis and offer it to Kal Bhairav. I mean, what better things to do, right? It's amazing. And also, Good, which is jaggery. You can offer jaggery to Kal Bhairav. You can offer milk. Milk is loved by Shiva. I mean, Shiva doesn't need anything. He's the best. Like, he's the most simplest form. He needs water. He needs a little bit of black till, and he needs some milk, and he's happy, and just leave him alone. And he will give you whatever you need. Same for Kal Bhairav. You offer him milk, yogurt, dahi, curd, whatever you call it, sugarcane juice. Juice is also loved by Kal Bhairav, and loves jaggery. He loves roti. If you have chapati, sweet mixed with jaggery, mixed something sweet can be offered to Kal Bhairav as well. And like I said, black urad dal and black sesame, all these are all loved by Kal Bhairav. I also mentioned Balva Patra. Flowers can be anything, red flowers, especially like hibiscus flowers, or also chameli and these kind of normal flowers that we usually offer in puja items. They're all preferred. So again, I think I pretty much covered everything. Laddus are also loved by Kal Bhairav. Besan laddu, aate ka laddu. Saturdays are also the day of Hanuman, where we do offer atta. Atta means the regular chapati flour, wheat flour. Laddus are offered to Hanumanji as well. So same laddus can be offered to Kal Bhairav on Tuesdays or Saturday. He loves laddus as well. And I will post maybe an additional video on just the prasad and nevedyam part of it, which is offered to Kal Bhairav. And simple stutis and stotram and sahasranam, the 1,000 name. If you can't do 1,000 name, 108 names can be done. Kavach can be done. All of this is open to everyone. Maybe in the next lecture, I will also talk a little bit about mantra. I'll give very basic mantra that can be done without doing a lot of basic fundamentals in place. But there are certain mantras that is open to everyone. One has to understand what direction to sit in. Each direction, like the east, west, north, south, has its own significance. And Bhairav, the Ashta Bhairav, the 8 forms of Bhairav, they protect us from all 8 directions. So it is not just the 4 directions, it's 8 and 10 directions also, up and down. So directions are important, right? Mostly in Purva, it's mostly for peace, Sukh Shanti. If it's north, then it's mostly to get wealth. If it's south, it's mostly for Asur Shaktis, and Pitar Mukti, like your Pitar, like your ancestor puja and all is mostly done in south. Yama is from south. So for death or any kind of very, very serious tantric practices are also done in the south direction because of certain activities that is mostly more active in the southern directions, like most of Asuri Shaktis and Asuri Prayogs are all done in the south direction. And the west is mostly for Stamban and Vashikaran, where you want to attract someone or you want to kind of attract that person. All of that is mostly done in the Paschim or the west direction. Again, if it's Tuesday and Saturday, a lot of people do Panchmukhi Hanuman Kavach, Panchmukhi Hanuman Jap as well. And that Panchmukhi is also each direction Hanuman has a certain face, each direction Hanuman plays a certain role. So I think it's a great thing where Hanuman and Bhairav both can go hand in hand together, and one can get the best out of both from the puja of both these deities. I think that's all for now, and I will post more videos as I see. I think I'll definitely get more details about the Nevedyam part of Bhairav, so you understand that there are certain days where certain Nevedyam is offered to Bhairav, but I've already explained the basic Nevedyas that can be offered on any day. And we'll definitely talk a little more on the mantra part of it. So anybody can start chanting very basic mantras. Malas usually is Spatik or the crystal, the white crystal mala, or Rudraksh. And we'll definitely talk more as we discuss more about the mantra sadhana. And of course, making sure that you're doing both Panchopachar, where, Gandha Pushpa Dhupa Deep Nevedyam, which is Gandha means like a chandan or something very nice smelling, powder, sandalwood, and all these can be offered. Pushpa, I said flower. Dhupa Deep means he loves deep, he loves diya, he loves lights. Dhoop is it's like an incense, a thicker form of incense. It's like creates that nice smelling smoke in the house. And Nevedyam, I already explained, is the prasad, all the food items that we follow. That is the basic Panchopachar puja that we do, 5 items. Then it can all be 10 also, 10 also, it can be 16. Shodshopachar also, where Gandha Pushpa Dhupa Deepa Nevedyam, Dudh, Dahi, Ghrita, Shakkar, Madhu, all the way Jal, Achman, Vastra Yagyopavit, it kind of goes through a 16 kind of, which is also possible. It's not that hard. Anybody can do that at home. It can also go to 36. 36 Prakar is also done. So a lot of different ways of doing it. But for basics, for beginners, Panchopachar is the most common, where it is Gandha, which means sandal, something very nice smelling, powdery, kumkum, chandan, all of this, pushpa, dhupa, deepa, naivedyam. That's the most easy form of starting to do Bhairav Puja. And so that's all for now, and we'll meet again. I hope you guys have learned a little more, and we'll definitely start talking more about the sadhana part of the mantra sadhana. For now, whatever you've learned, you can already start doing the puja and abhishek of Lord Bhairav. But if somebody's really interested in mantra chanting, we'll definitely touch upon it in my next class as well. All right. So for now, Jai Shri Kal Bhairav, Jai Gurudev.